Good morning, everybody. This morning's topic is going to be on following orders. Y'all know I have a military background, so the military men, we seem to do things different. We're different kind of folks because it takes somebody kind of special to leave their family and go and fight for this country and what this country stands for, not knowing what harm's way that you're going to be put into. So in order for us to do that, we have people appointed above us, and there are certain orders that have to be followed regardless of what you might think they are.
Right.
And I'm going to give you an explanation, a demonstration, and a practical application of why you should follow orders. And your first order will be coming out of the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 37. Your first order is, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. The second unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay, and now I'll give you an explanation of why you should follow that order. Because of the Creator who has made you. For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Now, you have to follow these orders because of who he is, and he is the creator of everything, and he made you. Mm-hmm. So you in yourself are a unique being. A lot of times people think that, oh, I'm not this or I'm not that. You are an original. It's kind of like Tom Brady's jersey that he wore at the Super Bowl is worth $500,000. But I can go online and get the same jersey for $49.99. The difference is because of whose jersey that was is the reason why that jersey is so expensive. Just like unto you, you are an original and you belong to God. So therefore, you are just as valuable as that jersey, if not even more than what the jersey is.
Yeah.
And my third point would be your reward, and that is going to be taken out of John 3:16.
Yeah.
It tells you specifically, and you know all these things that I'm talking about are in red because this is what he said. This is Jesus himself. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And it don't get no simpler than that. If you believe in the Lord, you will never die. Never. And since we were made in his image, whether you believe in him or not, you are not going to die. You're going to live for eternity. It's up to you to determine where you're going to live for eternity. Because you are going to be around.
Yeah.
My fourth point would be the demonstration. And my demonstration is taken out of the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 5 through 35. And just to break it down and encompass it all, it's the story of when the Israelites wanted a king. And Saul was picked to be the king. And Saul was given a direct order to go and slay the city of Amalek. But he decided to do something different. And it says here, for the rebellion is as sin of witchcraft and stubbornness.
Yeah.
It is an iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
Yeah.
He was given everything, basically. You down here on earth, the Lord then gave you his people and let you be in charge of them.
Yeah.
But since you did not follow what I told you to do, you will no longer be king. Mm-hmm. And Saul had big problems with this. I mean, he had dreams of all kinds of stuff and started drinking real bad, and it just didn't go right for him, all because he didn't follow orders. And he was told to go and annihilate these people, but he didn't. He wanted to save some of the better stuff for himself. And it says, but Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen, of the fatlings and of the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refused they did destroy utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and hath not performed my commandments. We go back to that word again, following your commands, following your orders. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. And when Samuel arose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul, come to Carmel, and behold, he set him a place, and it is gone about and passed on and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel said unto Saul, Saul, unto him, Blessed be out thou of the Lord, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, What meaning of this bleating of sheep in mine ears, and lowing of oxen which I hear? And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best sheep and of oxen to sacrifice to the Lord thy God, and the rest be utterly destroyed. And Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made head of the tribes of Israel, and the Lord anointed thee king over Israel? And the Lord sent thee on the journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners and Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then thou didst not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly up on the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord. And Samuel said, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and I have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoiled sheep and oxen, the chief things, and should have utterly destroyed to sacrifice the Lord thy God in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than to sacrifice, and hearken than the fat of rams. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. That was his mistake right there. He was listening to what the people was telling him instead of listening to the Lord. And for that, he had his king taken away from him. And then the final thing I want to hit on is the consequences of not following orders. And that comes out of the last book, the book of Revelations, chapter 20, verse 12 through 15. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of these things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up great dead which were in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So it is specifically written and told, this Bible, us soldiers used to call it the basic instructions before leaving earth manual. It has everything in it that you need to know. It is plain and concise. It is up to you to follow it or not follow it, but there will be consequences.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Very good.